Roger Daltrey, thank you for joining us on Scotland Tonight. You're here in Edinburgh as patron of the Teenage Cancer Trust. What made you want to get involved with the charity?
It just made sense. It was 26 years ago, and the charity was started by my GP, and what he told me about teenagers when they had cancer and the isolation they suffered in the old hospital system, it just completely made sense. I thought this shouldn't be allowed. You know, teenagers they're too young to be treated as adults, and they're too old to be treated as children. They sit in this middle area, and anyone who's had teenagers knows how different they are, how different their needs are, their psychological needs. So it was just like a light bulb going on in my head. And I thought, we've got to do this. The music business only exists because of the support of teenagers. So my way of giving back, you know.
What difference does the charity make to the lives of young people living with cancer?
Well, you'd have to ask them that, but I mean, from what I've seen, it's huge. And we've funded some research into how much of an improvement it makes to the success of their treatments, and it is quite extensive. I mean, because it's well acknowledged that a psychologically content patient will do much better with the medicine than someone who's isolated and miserable. It's always rewarding when you go and meet them and talk to them about their needs in a hospital. It often surprises you that their needs are so small, but so specific.
What emotional impact does it have on you when you hear, some of the stories from these young people living with cancer?
I don't get affected by it because I've never met one of them that hasn't got every bit of life still going on in them. So it doesn't get me emotional. I don't, it's really strange. Maybe I've become hardened to it. Obviously, you thank the heavens that it's not you and you got through it okay. But equally, their spirit is so strong. There's no time to get down, and they don't get down, so you don't get down either. It's really weird. They're inspirational, they really are.
Fundraising is so important, and a big part of that are your concerts at the Royal Albert Hall. Next concert's in March next year,
Yes,
isn't it?
every March.
And great lineup: The Who, of course, Paul Weller, Pet Shop Boys, Ollie Murs, and comedy from Joe Brand, and Kevin Bridges, isn't it, from Glasgow?
Coming.
It's going to be a big night. Hoping to raise lots of money.
You Scots, you've played your bit. You've been really good supporters. Paolo Nutini did it a few years ago. There are 100 shows next year. That's a lot of shows. That's an awful lot of begging people to do something for nothing.
I would have thought they would come very willingly, especially being asked by you.
Well, you sometimes have to make them offers they can't refuse.
Talking of The Who, you celebrated your 50th anniversary tour. Back on the road next year to celebrate 51st.
Yeah,
you've got a gig in Glasgow,
it turned into around 52nd. It went on a bit longer than we thought.
What's it like to be on the road compared to, what it was like back in the 60s?
The performing is more fun than ever because you don't kind of have to prove anything anymore, So and luckily, touch wood, it's probably plastic, but we're still performing as good as we ever were. It's obviously a bit more mature, but the music Who music is so different, and it's almost kind of classically formed, and the words are so specific that it kind of means more today than it seemed to have meant back then. So the shows are fabulous. The schlepping around the world is getting a bit difficult. The bones ache,
The British music, back in the 60s was, the envy of the world. When you were...
It still is. Let me tell you, no matter people say the music industry is in trouble, last year, out of the top 10 records in the world, the UK had 5 in the top 10. That's pretty damn good.
But what was it like back then? You were living every young man's dream.
A lot of it seemed like a nightmare. Well, you just kind of... At times you felt like a drowning man trying to survive in this stuff coming at you from all angles. It wasn't easy all the time. But equally, how lucky can you get?
Do you think, wow, when you look back at your career?
I try not to look back at it. You know, people ask me all the time, what was that like? And I've forgotten most of it, to be honest. I've got huge gaps of memory missing. I've been whacked in the head so many times in my life. Huge periods of unconsciousness. So there's huge holes, but in general, like I say, I've got no complaints whatsoever.
Fantastic. And Roger Daltrey, thank you so much for joining us in Scotland tonight. We appreciate
It's a pleasure.
it.